Growing up as a boy in America, I was faced with a strict gender binary in the way things were marketed. It was color-coded so even a kid like me could understand it. Pink means it's for girls, and blue means it's for boys. Blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, that's a boy. Polly Pocket, that's for girls. Blue Man Group, redundant. Call them the Blue Group. Things got more complicated as I got older though. Branding evolves, and there are so many exceptions now to this rule. Am I allowed to buy this bubble tape? First, before we go any further, I want to say something that might trigger some people. I know the snowflakes are gonna get pissed in the comments, but I've gotta say it. Gender's a spectrum. It's not tied to biological organs, and there are all sorts of ways to be masculine and feminine outside of the strict binary that these products enforce. Feels good to say that. I feel like I can't say anything these days without hearing from the PC gaming police. But I can't speak for anyone else on this topic. I can only speak for my personal experience growing up cisgender and straight within this rigid-ass gender binary. All those years of cultural influences telling us fellas which products to use, conflating dabbling in the other products with being feminine, and then making that a terrifying idea, it all ingrains in men the need to toe that line and sink deeper into their identity. There is obviously nothing wrong with a man expressing himself outside a straight macho stereotype or within one, as long as no one's getting harmed. But with a society built on these influences, there is virtually no limit to what men can be made to feel like they're too manly to do.
It's all right, I don't eat ice cream. I think it's something to do with being straight. There's nothing wrong with it, but a grown man eating an ice cream, it's that way rather than that way. It just...
Imagine depriving yourself of the joy of ice cream because what? You don't want to be caught licking something? Too straight to experience joy? All this to say, if a company wants to create a new market in the male demographic and get men to want things that aren't already advertised to them specifically, they have to be extremely overt in their presentation. There better be no mistake that this stuff is for me and my masculine values. We've got mandals, we've got men's bread, bro nuts, cushion brush for men, and thank God, men's Q-tips. Men's hygiene is a big, bold new market to get into. Modern society has always been crystal clear about women needing to devote 50% of their income and 90% of their day on making sure they're pretty enough to go to work. But men have been pretty much given the go-ahead to look and smell like shit, culturally speaking. But there are some manly brands trying to challenge that dichotomy. Duke Cannon, it's two manly-ass words, sure, but I didn't realize their grooming goods were dude exclusive until I heard their rock and roll mission statement.
In Duke's day, men didn't stare slack-jawed at smartphones or go to the gym to ride pretend bicycles. They got up before dawn to build railroads.
It's got the exact tough guy attitude you would expect from a brand like this. Duke Cannon boasts that their signature big-ass brick of soap is modeled after the rough-cut brick style of soap used by GIs during the Korean War. Oh, can I eat their rations too? Dr. Squatch is that men's hygiene brand with the annoying ads, and they do hit on something smart in their marketing, which is accusing me of not knowing or caring what bar of soap I use. I really never have, and it made me feel self-conscious, like good marketing should. Manscaped is one that you probably have a podcast promo code in mind for. They offer tools for shaving your nose hairs, your nut hairs, and everything in between. They're good quality products. Not that I would know. What a random thing to say. And then we have the product categories that brands are really walking on eggshells getting into. For instance, these tactical diaper bags. For the man who fears getting caught carrying diapers, these are the perfect cover story. No, I don't care for a child. These are for grenades. But not for babies, we've got dude wipes. You're supposed to use these instead of toilet paper. I don't see the appeal, but that's because I recently became a bidet guy. I'm proud to say I've almost completely stopped yelping when the water hits me. There's even makeup targeted at men called war paint, which I just don't know why we have to work so hard to market makeup for men. Movie stars use it. Don't you want to look like a movie star? Is that a thing we think only girls want? Overall, I really don't mind the existence of these things. Something like men's bread is a ridiculous cash grab, sure, but I think war paint, intentionally or not, works towards normalizing this stuff long term. They take the cringe bullet so that someday we'll live in a world where all men can feel comfortable buying makeup, even if the eyeliner thing doesn't look like a little katana. That's actually a really good idea. But sometimes, even when the product has nearly nothing to do with them, you can still target those male ideals. And that's when it hits me as a bit more irritating.
So you can keep the romantic comedies and lady drinks. We're good. Dr. Pepper 10, it's not for women!
2021 marks the 10th anniversary of Dr. Pepper's historic Dr. Pepper 10, It's Not for Women ad campaign. A dramatic bid for male approval after company research showed men tend to shy away from diet drinks. Only men were allowed to access the Dr. Pepper 10 Facebook page, where they could watch videos about male excellence and play a shooting gallery game where you blasted away lipstick and flowers while trying not to shoot the cowboy hats and toy soldiers. Which, okay, maybe that sounds stupid, but actually the gunplay was really solid. Dr. Pepper was far from the first to use this approach, though.
I am man, hear me roar. The number's too big to ignore, and I'm way too hungry to settle for chick food.
In May 2006, we had the Burger King I Am a Man ads, boasting, I am man, I am incorrigible. Incorrigible meaning not able to be corrected, improved, or reformed. And across the pond back in 2002, they had the Yorkie Bar Not for Women campaign, at once letting men revel in their exclusive snack and giving women the thrill of purchasing something they're not supposed to. Which is just like, buy drugs, loser. All these ad campaigns are intended to be jokes, to a degree. They offended some people didn't notice them, and some people simply laughed and said, funny product, as they consumed the product. But since the internet came around, leaning into this in your branding, you are begging to get ridiculed. Penta Hotels, the hotel chain behind the Player Pad, the first hotel room for gamers, had a bit of a blunder when someone tweeted an image of how they gendered their bathrooms. Go in this one if you think about football, this one if you think about shopping. When asked about it, they clarified, yes, men go shopping too. But it's for football gear. So fucking true. Are you even a man if you own one single possession unrelated to football? I actually found out my friend Bobby had a book in his house. And I cut him out of my life. So why would you lean into this in your marketing? Why would you show the world your ass and practically beg them to smack it? Rewrite this part. Oh, shit. They don't care what kind of response it gets as long as they get a response. They want people to talk about it pretty much exactly how I'm doing right now. All press is good press. Dr. Pepper's Executive Vice President of Marketing, Jim Treblecock, said their focus tests for Dr. Pepper 10 across the country included 40% women, and they weren't offended by it, that they got the joke. Is this really for men or really for women? Is a way to start the conversation that can spread and get people engaged in the product, I'm guessing what he sounds like. It is a strat. Call me a cynic, but it's just the other side of the Gillette commercial coin. Sorry, short film. If you don't remember that, it was a brave, heartfelt cash grab for the Me Too era. The campaign backfired and got a massive negative response, with dislikes, boycotts, and people annihilating their Gillette products, swearing they were going to treat women and children even worse in protest.
How's that for toxic masculinity?
Whether or not you believe they lost money because of that ad campaign, they were gambling on the buzz outweighing the boycotts, because it usually does. Dr. Pepper 10 still did it after seeing others do the same thing. They had a good picture of how it went. Dr. Pepper 10 and Burger King are absolutely hoping to make you laugh. But I think it's fair to assume most of these products I've talked about thrive on being a joke. There's an ironic edge to these brands that a lot of customers are in on. Whether it's funny to you or me, it's legally a sense of humor. Dude Wipes even pitches their newsletter as a way to get hilarious content. Duke Cannon has a naval diplomacy soap, which has to be a joke on some level. I don't want to live in a world where that's not the slightest bit facetious. When something strikes us as ridiculous, we as a people need to be better at second guessing its authenticity. Especially you, men. No, No, please, no. But it's sometimes hard to tell how authentic they are because man-centric products can come from a genuine place. Black Rifle Coffee, for instance, is a zero-irony coffee company by veterans for patriots. In fact, when you scroll over the faces on their website, you get to see them doing their cool military stuff, except, it seems, for this guy. You better be on your way to fight Al-Qaeda, dude. Founder Evan Hafer said in an interview, "I wanted to market Black Rifle Coffee to what I felt was my subculture, dudes like me." He also laments modern cafe culture. "If I were in Portland or Seattle or anywhere else, I'd feel completely out of place. I can't go to these coffee shops and talk about libertarian issues or pro-gun issues." That's probably true. Although I will say I don't go to coffee shops and talk to strangers about anything. I mind my own stupid business. But it's a point of view to keep in mind. Companies like this aren't targeting all 4 billion men. They're targeting those men who are looking for an opportunity to revel in their masculinity and feel like it's being embraced. Do they use aspects of toxic masculinity to appeal that way? Sometimes. So why does any of this matter? For some of you, you already have your reasons to think the binary sucks. But for others out there, I imagine you might not see what the big problem is. And you might think I'm also being a little too condescending about it, too, huh? Is that you? The truth is, enforcing this gender binary hurts everyone. When I was a kid, my cousin Nick asked for an Easy Bake Oven for Christmas, and we all roasted him. We were influenced by the same marketing and culture that made that British guy from earlier too scared to eat ice cream. It's really not that different at all. But you bet your ass, when he got that Easy Bake Oven, all us 8-year-olds were eating like short kings. And then in high school, when my face was absolutely acneed to hell, looking like the surface of Mars, looking like a screenshot of Agario, looking like an all bacon bits pizza, I wish that I felt like putting on some foundation in the morning was an option for me. There's no good reason it shouldn't have been. I don't think anyone would have even noticed. But what if they did? I want so badly for this world to move past that. I think de-emphasizing gender expectations would do wonders for kids who are the most impacted by marketing, especially young kids who don't understand an ad is persuading them of something and not just listing facts to them. That stuff can impact your gut reactions to things your entire life. It's a cultural issue, obviously. Marketing and branding are just cogs in that machine. I think we've got to do our part to boost positive expression outside the binary. If we think a makeup brand targeted at men is corny, suggest an alternative. And stop bullying where we see it, because that's really at the root of so much. Really? Huh. You know, I'm famous now. There's nothing wrong with making a little hay while the sun shines. Are you a man? Are you really? You curly-headed fuck? In this millennial world of equally valid human beings plotted like stars along a beautiful gender spectrum, there's only one way to prove you're a real man. The products you consume. That's why you need our premium hair straightener. There's no better way than straight hair to prove you're heteronormative. Simply apply our goop and comb your hair until it's straight as your hog. Although that might have a slight curve, and that's normal. Now let it set and wait for the ladies to come to you. No doctor required, but be sure to consult your bros before using our new product. Only $19.99 for your first tub of menstruate. Oh. Yeah, it's a no-go. I hear it now.